Ludicrous Feed is proudly sponsored by mycar, Tyre Auto, Carloop, data to empower Australia's EV revolution, and Hankook, driving emotion. Hey everyone, I'm Tom and this is Joy.
Hello.
And welcome to our review of the Kia EV3 small electric compact SUV. Let's go check it out. Alright, so let's go through some of the pricing and the specs for the Kia EV3. This is actually the front wheel drive Air standard range. So this is as basic as it gets for the EV3. $47,600 before on roads, with an approximate drive away of $48,990 depending which state you are in. A bit more expensive in WA, of course, as always. It is 4.3 meters in length, 4.31 for the GT line top spec, and 1.85 meters high, 1.56 to 1.57 meters high for the GT line. So the EV3 is a single motor front wheel drive. This variant, the Air standard range, is a 58.3 kilowatt hour lithium ion NMC battery, which comes from Korea. Webasto with some LG components as well. It's got a curb weight of 1.845 tons, 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds, and a claimed WLTP range of 436 kilometers, which I found to be fairly accurate so far because it has a consumption of 14.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Again, pretty accurate for the drive I've done so far this week. Max DC charge rate of 100 kilowatts, AC 11 kilowatts. So yeah, let's take a look at the vehicle. So let's go around this way actually this time. So, looks very similar, of course, to the Kia EV5 and Kia EV9. I call this like the little baby brother version. Little
sibling.
Yes.
Little sibling.
Sorry, apologies, little sibling. To be fully inclusive. But yeah, the thing is, I guess it still looks like an SUV, right? It's fairly versatile, fairly utility looking.
It's definitely the little one in the family. What was nice about seeing these at all the different motor shows is that you get to sort of see the size of this relative to all the other EV number cars. So yeah.
Look, it's subjective, right? I mean, I prefer like something that looks a bit more aero, a bit more curvy. This still looks fairly angular and square, so each their own.
It's a very distinctive Kia look though. Like this particular line of Kias all has this like really boxy angular shape. So it's very, very Kia. Like you see one of these on the roads and you're like, I know that's a Kia. Yeah,
and because it's angular and boxy, it's actually quite spacious, as we'll see during our walkthrough. So the standard range Air comes with 17-inch tyres. I think it goes up to 19, I think, from memory for the GT line, which we have a loan of next week, so it'd be good to compare the two side by side. There's a charge port on the front right. It's good, just the cover for the DC component, which is great, and charging indicators too.
It's interesting, it's got the half-half bit here.
Yeah, two-tone, right?
Which is, yeah, I think I commented on that before. With
part of the design. It's nice when they tell you what variant you've got. It's sometimes a bit of a guesswork for us as reviewers, but this is clearly stating its standard range. So 58 kilowatt hour. So 100 kilowatt DC, which is not super fast.
And useful as well. What the different colours mean, that's actually very helpful.
That is handy, isn't it?
Yeah, as opposed to having to guess.
As I said, 100 kilowatt DC, not a super quick charge rate, but a sort of borderline okay, I think, for a day trip. So roof rails, again, that versatile element comes through. It's, like I said, 4.3 meters, so not a huge car, but it looks big.
And it seems... You're right, it seems bigger when you're inside.
Yeah, it feels big on the outside and the inside. It doesn't feel cramped
at all.
Yeah. No sunroof, which I think most people actually prefer in Australia, to be honest. Bit of chrome down here just to break it up. There's plastic down here, as a lot of SUVs do, to make it feel utility. Check out the door opening on the back here. So
it is a bit unique and novel.
Yeah, a lot of plastic there. Flush door handles here, just why not, right? Just help with the aero, but again, it's sort of offset by the fact that it's so boxy. But surprisingly, efficiency of 14.9, so still reasonable. And just in keeping, of course, with the EV5, EV9, kind of that boxy design. That does differentiate it, of course, EV3. It's got a reversing camera.
At least the numbers make sense in the Kia range, isn't it? It goes 359 and they get bigger as the numbers go bigger.
And that's a good point. Kia is very sensible. It's a very sensible brand. It's been in Australia a long time. you are buying into the legacy component of it. You know, they've got the servicing all set up. It's a very trusted brand now, and $47,000 is not cheap for a car this size. Like, you're looking at Zeekr X is $49,000. So for $2,000 more, you can get, I guess, a more premium vehicle. But again, like I said, you're paying the money for a very known brand. So yeah, take it or leave it. I think it's got a rear wiper. Yes, it's just tucked under there. So I like that. I like the fact that rear wipers are tucked under there in some cars.
It's a smart place to put it.
Very smart. Extra bit of lift to give it shape. Let's have a look. It's not a powered tailgate in this variant. A bit of a screen here. I just wonder why there's a gap, to be honest, because this seat doesn't recline any further. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the GT line variant does. We'll have to check that next week. Under here, a bit more storage, so quite deep. Yeah.
Yes.
It's V2L as well, so I think Kia, Hyundai always give you an extra adapter. Yes, that's right. So that looks very familiar to me. I think you plug in externally to this bit here. See that?
That's so handy, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's good. And then I think a slower charger there, and the tyre mobility kit, which is good. Bit of storage. I will say though, having driven it the last few days, there's quite a lot of hard plastic in this car.
Yeah. And I don't know how durable this plastic actually looks over time. Like, just, you know, the way people generally treat their boot is to sort of kind of throw things into it.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd be concerned with how long that plastic is going to last.
Yeah, I mean, stuff does rattle in this car because of the hard plastic, so that's one criticism. Again, we'll check the GT line spec. Have a look at down here. It kind of feels like there should be a spare tyre, right? It's kind of almost shaped out for it.
Shaped like one, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. But there is no spare.
No, but I mean, you can always buy one aftermarket.
I suppose you could. The Big Bertha fits this way, so unusual for a car this size, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's roomy, right?
It looks, I mean, actually it doesn't even look that small on the outside, but it's deceptively bigger on the inside.
4.3 metres is not a big car. No power tailgate, so if you have upper limb issues, then take that into consideration. Apologies for the noisy birds in our country. You can hear them. They are our birds, unusual. They squawk.
I didn't even hear it until you mentioned it.
So that's basically the walk-around. There's no actual side camera in the baseline variant. So there's no 360 camera for the Air variant.
Right. But there is a reversing camera, right?
There is a reversing camera, which should really be standard these days. And in the front here, there's no front camera either. So again, not 360. There is, however, storage in the front. So let me just show that to you. Which I was surprised because it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. But Kia luckily have put in storage. It's not anything to write home about, but it is something at least. I'll just put my phone in there to show you some scale. That's my arm in there, so probably enough for what? A small jacket, a couple of water bottles, shoes,
yeah.
Small bag.
Gym bag. But then I feel like there's more convenient locations to put that.
A couple of cameras at the front for sort of cruise control and things. So yeah, there we go. So that is the Kia EV3, everyone. I think very subjective on whether you think this looks good or not, but at least Kia have cemented their design with the 3, the 5, and the 9, all looking very similar. Okay, so Joy is going to demonstrate the door closing sound.
Well, opening first, I suppose. Now close?
Yep. Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not solid, but not super solid, I should say. It's reasonable. I want to test the back as well.
I actually like this handle. It's fun.
Yeah, again, not too bad. I kind of feel that's a bit retro. I don't know why. I get retro kind of feels to it. Other elements in the car that feel a bit retro too.
It's just fun. It puts a smile on my face every time I open it.
I'm glad it makes you happy. Let me show you the passenger side. All manual kind of pumps and latches and things for seat control. adjustments.
It's very old school. I actually really enjoyed pulling this bar because it really brought me back. Like, I actually don't mind this because you can go at the speed, like you can go forwards and back at the speed you want to go.
True.
As opposed to like this where it's like, takes an age.
It's not infinite though. There are like stops. You can't go at every angle. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's like normally a ratchet.
I didn't even notice it, but see, it's fast. I don't mind doing some things manually.
Instantaneous, I guess. Again, a lot of hard plastics on the trims. Like, that feels hard. That's a little bit soft, I guess. But yeah. Again, this is the basic spec, so we'll comment on the GT line when we get it. Bit of chrome that'll break it up. But yeah, very, very basic. Yeah, let me hop into the driver's seat and then we'll do some more commentary. Okay, so my side, on the driver's side, is pretty similar. Trim, all traditional window controls and mirror controls, which is good. Now this is what I was commenting on being retro. Check this out. That is like straight out of the 1990s. Like, it's easy to find, you know what to do with it, so in some ways it's kind of a nice throwback. Nice deep water bottle holder in there with the storage in there, and on my side, on the driver's side, is also manual seat adjustments as well, all manual for this trim. And then down here the bonnet open, and then park brake there, light control. The indicators are on the right side, for those of you who like that will be happy. And there's a little extra gear shift stalk here, and there's an EV on-off button there too, you can see. So you have to press that to turn the car off and on.
Old school again. Is this how to adjust the steering wheel?
Yes, that's right, all manual.
Brings me back. Yeah.
Although most cars are like that, to be honest, aren't they?
Is it?
Yeah, the Tesla I know is on a screen based.
Okay, well, that's the thing. I'm not that I'm used to it, but isn't that's what I currently have.
No,
so I thought they're all like that.
I don't mind this either. It's quick and easy, like you said.
It is. That's the thing. You don't have to fuss around with the screen.
Yeah, correct. Okay, let me put the wide lens on, and then we will check out the interior. I might move my seat back instantaneously to show you what's going on here. Okay, so let's do a commentary on the trim itself. So, Joy, what do you think? What do you like about this car?
Look, okay. No, what I like or what I...
Oh, your impression.
I mean, I know, because you're always going on about the plastic. You bang on about the plastic in some vehicles.
Right now.
And I'll have to admit, this one is obviously a little bit more on the, how do I phrase this?
Utility.
Yeah, it's like a economical,
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, good word. Yeah, utility. I'd say function over form, right? It's going to do the job, but it's pretty hard plastic throughout. To the point where the stuff I'm putting here, like in this massive storage area, and also here, there's extra storage, and also in the armrest, rattles around a lot. And I know I've got a lot of stuff, but it doesn't rattle nearly as much in other cars we've tested.
I'll call it baseline plastic.
Oh, baseline plastic.
Yeah, it's like it does the job.
I would have said Toyota plastic, but yeah, same thing. Toyota baseline.
That's the thing. Yeah, it does the job.
Yeah.
And that's that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, we'll get the GT line just to compare, but this is Kia's baseline. Yeah.
I'm not normally one to complain about plastic, and I'm not really complaining. Like, it's not a complaint, but it is,
Yeah.
Oh, look, this bit's soft though. At least this bit's soft.
Armrest. Yeah.
Yeah. So they knew where to put that.
But see, for $47,000, like, do we expect more? Surely in 2025.
Well, it's not that you expect more. It's just that obviously there are other, other brands from other countries that you get, quote unquote, better value for the same price. But, you're paying for the Kia and the known brand. So
yeah, I was saying earlier, some people are still worried about buying from a country like China, where it's still kind of unproven largely. So yeah, Kia, the Koreans have been around a bit longer with their cars, so I guess that's what they're charging a premium for.
Yeah, they have every right to charge a premium. If you've built that sort of brand, reputation over time, then absolutely.
Yep, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Manual vents, yay.
Yes. I wouldn't have expected anything less in this car.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, this is so sensible.
Yeah,
dial for the volume.
Hey, look, even the manual vents have got like little symbols there, like shut and open. Yeah. This is very familiar for any Kia, Hyundai, Genesis brand, all the buttons here, so don't lean on this when you touch the screen, right? Otherwise it'll trigger all the buttons, which are haptic, I think. Yeah, not really.
Well, the
haptic.
whole like
Thing.
interface seems to move in when you press it.
Let's go through the steering column. So pretty standard, like I said. Very familiar with Kia, Hyundai, all very similar. Cruise control on the left, drive mode. I think there are 5 drive modes, including Eco, Normal, Sport. And then there's on the cluster screen. Now, one thing I do like about Kia Hyundai is their instrument cluster screen. It's very informative and straightforward, so you can actually cycle through them. So I like the stats as well. So we've got 184 kilometers since charging from 100%, and we're down to 52% now. So like I said, we are achieving what the specs of the car are. So 14.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, so pretty much bang on. And we're on track to achieve 400 kilometers of real world range, which is great. This car's only been driven 1,172 kilometers.
What's interesting is that the screen is so high tech. It doesn't fit the rest of the car.
Yeah.
The rest of this car seems like really retro and really, I mean, dare I say, like budget? Because it is obviously the baseline model.
Yeah.
But the screen does not look baseline at all. Like
No.
the screen looks like it's very crisp, very sharp.
Yep. High
It's
res.
fast as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's got Apple CarPlay.
Yes. Android Auto.
And the rear reversing camera was actually really sharp and bright.
Yeah, it's not
So-
bad. We'll go through that in a second. But yeah, you're right. It's very, very good screens. I particularly like the instrument cluster screen, and also the center AC screen as well. So separate to that screen.
It looks so futuristic and modern compared to the rest of the car.
Exactly. So I show you the radar when we drive, and just back on this charging stats. So after charging, since the last reset, and then range guide as well. So tire pressure and the current trip. So very handy stats for nerds like me. Show you the stalk once again. So right side indicate auto lights, and then the left side is auto rain sensing wipers and the rear wiper as well. So super handy. The screen now, the only gripe I have with the screen is that I think it hasn't really changed. Well, I guess it's not a gripe. Some people like that. It hasn't really changed since I've known the EGMP platform or their B-tier platforms for Kia Hyundai. So all very similar. So reasonably easy to navigate, although you kind of have to find things. It's not sort of listed for you like in other cars.
But that's because it's sort of lengthways. And
Yeah.
it's not the kind of like A4 piece of paper that everyone else has.
Yeah, true. It's very unique to this system. Apple CarPlay, very handy, which I like. Now down here, you get a whole variety of charging options. So you've got a 12-volt socket there. You can wire your phone projection, or you can just charge it like that. So push between the two. All USB-Cs
Wait,
throughout.
you can't charge two at the same time?
You can. I'm just saying, for if you plug in something and you connect your phone, you can use like wired Apple CarPlay.
Oh,
Or if
okay.
you're using wireless for another device, say wireless charging there, you can just switch it to charge only, so you're not conflicting the two inputs.
That's kind of complicated, but yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense once you know it, I guess.
Correct. Yep. And look, more manual flicks for AC, so that's good. You don't have to flick around on the screen or this screen for that matter.
But you can if you wanted to.
Correct. Could have both options. So all the storage down here we talked about, and this we saw a version of this in the Kona, this drink holder there. So if you want more,
Their signature, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's-
if you-
well,
if you want more space, you can open it all out. So this is good for takeaway, I guess. Anything else?
and then you press it.
Yeah.
Whee!
Very plastic. A lot of plastic throughout.
It reminds me of those little pop-up toys that, you know, for toddlers, and you press it and then there's little...
Spring-loaded.
Yes,
something.
like a little, like A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
More buttons here. This is good for the reverse camera. So there it is there.
It's very sharp.
It's very sharp. I don't quite like these lines. I'll show you once we do a little drive. Anyway. Turn the sensors off if you want. See how much that rattles?
So that turns the
Yep.
camera on and
Yep.
off. Okay.
And then storage here. Yep. Yeah. Now these seats, I have to comment on these seats because I am not a fan personally. I mean, the design's not too bad. This is, again, reminiscent of the EV5 and 9. But again, this is the base trim. Very clothy, very utility. A lot of function over form. I'm not digging it. It's very uncomfortable.
And I don't normally comment on seats either, but I did notice after, and it wasn't even that long a drive. I think it was maybe like half hour or 40 minutes. And when I got out, I was a bit stiff, and I don't normally get stiff sitting in a car for 40 minutes.
No, me neither. I normally don't complain too much about seats, but this one particularly, I've not been a fan of. I've only had this for 3 days, and I'm getting some back pain.
It's odd though, because when you first sit into it, it's not like there's anything drastically wrong when you first sit into it. So it kind of lulls you into a false sense of security, and then after you've been driving around, then you get out and then you feel it. But it's not like you get in and you're like, oh, I'm like in a weird, like it doesn't feel like that. But somehow, after a period of time, you get out and then it's weird.
I'm agreeing with you there. I have to shift around a little bit after 15, 20 minutes. So I don't know what it is. It just doesn't fit.
And it isn't long. Like it's 15, 20 minutes is not a long time.
No. Correct. All right, well, let's go check out the back. There is USB-C ports here, just on the front of the seat, so good for the back passengers there.
It's like this car is gaslighting me, because I sit here now and I'm like, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I don't understand why this would feel, you know, I don't understand where I'm getting this back pain from after a while, because it feels fine to me right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is so odd. That's a really odd thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go check out the back. Okay, checking out the back. Now, again, like I said, USB-C charge ports there, and one here as well for passengers. There are map holders. It's just hard plastic once again. Same with this side.
Interesting location for the charge ports.
Yeah. I guess a safe space down here, maybe.
Yeah. I actually think that's not a bad idea, because having them here, like, you know, people are always like kicking it or banging on things. Having it up and out of the way is actually kind of smart.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think the other Kia cars do that too, and Hyundai. I like this little slot.
You can even hook it.
Oh yeah, good. I like this slot here. I can put my umbrellas there, and then we have them rolling around the floor, so it's good.
It's very functional.
It is very function over form. That's Kia. Manual vents again, and flat floor, excellent. And the same scratchy seats. Maybe it's the material.
No, I reckon that it's like to do with maybe the padding on the underside or something. It's weird. Sensible cup holders. I'm a fan of sensible cup holders.
It feels like a pair of pants, right? All this cloth throughout. You know what I mean?
Or no, like a bus seat.
Oh, bus seat. That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Public transport.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's uncomfortable. Maybe that's it. Back row trim, very similar. More hard plastic. More retro style door. Check this out too. Your side's got the same, but look, the belt buckle can be put into this little slot. I've never seen that before.
That's
so it doesn't rattle.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thought that was quite clever, actually.
Oh.
I'm not sure whether it's designed for that, but I found the car this way, so I thought that was quite clever. Yeah, so there you go. How's the head height level? Okay. Yep.
I mean, the back row is definitely more uncomfortable than that seat.
And you haven't got too much legroom there. I mean, you're not super tall, but
no.
Interesting, isn't it?
And it's, you probably can't tell from these pants, but they're, you know, my knees are not, how do I explain this? Yeah, like I'm not on the thing. It's like up.
Okay.
My knees are up. If my feet are flat on the floor, then my knees are up, or I'd have to push them underneath, and then they're sort of sticking out. If that makes sense. Might
be a universal issue with EVs.
And I'm not a tall person at all. So for anybody else, it would be even more awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was just saying, it might be a universal issue with EVs because the battery's making the floor higher, right? Because the battery's on the floor of the car, skateboard design.
No, but then it's kind of like there's a way, right? You have the seats sort of like
compensating,
like doing this, right? So that.
Yeah, I mean these are small things, but it does add up, you know, all these issues. Okay, well that's pretty much a walkthrough of inside. So let's, I guess, go for a drive. Although we should probably put the seats down too. Let's show you how much room there is. One last thing.
I feel like if the seats could go back, that
recline.
little, you know, to that space, it would make a world of difference.
I agree. There's a weird little space there, little gap.
But this is a practical space.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do this. Okay, so I just want to talk about the parking situation. So let me just drive here, and then I'll put the reverse camera on. That's the golf club rolling around the back and the hard plastic. Could probably adjust here. Yeah, maybe I have to follow the blue lines. Like, I'm just confused by the yellow.
I think the yellow is like predicted.
Direction of the wheel, maybe?
Yeah, it's like predicted, and then
I just think
blues.
I think there's too many lines for my simple mind. Anyway, to each their own.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not an issue
that
for
was
me.
a simple job.
Yeah.
Bit more complicated when there's cars around,
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Yeah, true. But other cars have that. I think the Mercedes has that as well.
Which I don't like also.
Okay, but see, if you're coming from a Mercedes, then that's familiar to you.
Okay, Mercedes to Kia. Okay, good swap.
Well, I'm just saying what I've seen it in. Like,
all right, let's
car's
go.
a car for me.
All right, fine. Let's go for a drive just on these roads first. Again, very familiar to me. This is Kia, Hyundai, EGMP, B-Tier, their platforms.
But this also means that, say you're coming from like an ICE Kia, then this will be great. You can just, step right into it, feel really familiar.
Yep. No, it's not a criticism. I'm just saying it's good. It's good to have standardization.
I mean, I initially, when I was driving a Mazda, my wish was that Mazda made like an EV version of a Mazda, right? Because then I'd be familiar with that.
We saw that in China, right, at the motor show.
Yes, but see, now there's so many brands, I realise, I don't actually have to stick with Mazda.
Now, you're about to feel the torque steering coming out of this turn because it's front-wheel drive. I mean, you may not feel it, but I feel it as the driver. Because it's front-wheel drive, there's a lot of torque steering where you feel like there's too much movement out the back. But let me... see, normally if it's rear-wheel drive, it's easy enough to accelerate out, but it's just a bit
wobble?
A bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing, but I have to sort of not accelerate as quickly out of the turn. Yep.
It's like you gotta... It's weird, because it's like you gotta take control of the car before you accelerate, as opposed to like you trust the car to not do something weird.
Yeah, correct. I also have to say there's a lot of roll in this car because it's not built for aero as much as other cars, right? It just feels like it's like moving around a lot. I've got to actually take control of the car a lot more than I would. So it might be just the fact that it's so high. It's a high car, right? Even though it's a short car lengthways, it's a high car, so a lot of movement rolling
just
around corners.
wobbly.
Yeah, but I guess the flip side is because it's quite a big car, seemingly, like I feel like I'm still driving an SUV. There's a lot of storage in the back, and just feels like a bigger car inside. So that is the compromise. But yeah, there's just a lot of movement just driving around.
Yeah, like sitting in the front, it honestly doesn't feel too much smaller than a Model Y, which is crazy because it's significantly smaller than a Model Y. So you'd be able to, I always say this, the advantage of a small car is that you can park in all those parking spots that everybody else has to pass by.
I think
which is handy.
I suppose you still have that advantage because it's a short car, so smaller, shorter wheelbase, so you should be able to park easier.
Yeah.
I think, funnily enough, this is actually taller than the Model Y. I'll have to double check my stats.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's it sort of feels like a mini London cab, that sort of like a box, isn't it? It's like you're driving a square.
I think
not even a rectangle, you're driving a square.
So I have it on normal mode, and people ask me in other videos, why don't you put it on sport or eco? But normal is my baseline metric. I always use normal across all the cars we drive, and the steering is light to medium. So
I mean, I did drive it in the sport mode, and it's okay. Like, there is a noticeable difference from normal mode.
Yeah.
And the steering wheel is tighter.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, we're going to have some lunch first, and then we're going to go for a highway drive very shortly. So stay tuned, everyone. Okay, so we've had lunch, and we're just going to go to our usual Costco at Marsden Park. It's always a nice little test there on the highway and on different surfaces. Just want to also make a comment about one pedal driving in this car. So I don't know whether it's because I'm getting used to the one pedal, or what they call iPedal in Hyundai Kia, or whether it's improved. It's hard to tell, but I think it has improved. It's not as harsh, doesn't pull you as harshly anymore compared to, say, the EV6, for example, or the Ioniq 5. I'm happy to have it on iPedal all the time, to the point where I think it's better than the auto function, honestly. So anyway, that's just a little commentary. It is still a little grippy on low speed, so that's something. We are turning left here onto the Lane Cove Tunnel. I'm going to show what it looks like on the interior. I think suspension-wise, generally, and I'll make a commentary again on the cornering now that we've got this bit. There is a bit of roll, like I said earlier. But just suspension-wise, I find the car is a little on the floaty side. Yeah, just particularly at low speed, I think again to do with the height maybe, but I don't know. I think some people like that floaty feeling.
I was just going to say, I think some people might prefer that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a sporty ride, so.
I noticed it flicked over to night mode quite quickly too. There wasn't sort of like a big lag.
Yeah, it's good, right? Very responsive. All right, so that's what it looks like on the interior. I don't think it's got ambient lighting from memory. Again, we'll see what it looks like.
I sincerely doubt a base model of this car. Like, just given the way the rest of the car is kitted out, it would not make any sense for there to be interior lighting.
True. We'll see what the GT line spec looks like next week. Okay.
But everything that needs to be lit is lit.
Yeah, true. That's important, right? Color coded,
Exactly.
blue, red.
Yeah, like if you need to see these buttons at night, you'll be able to see them. And even there, if you need to stick something into a charge port, you'd be able to see that.
So again, no head-up display for this spec, but I love the instrument cluster screen. It's really good. So again, all the Hyundai, Kia cars, really well laid out.
So then with that, you don't need a head-up display.
That's right, makes sense. Okay, so I have said before I like the M2 because it's got different road surfaces, so really good for testing cars like this. So currently we're in the corrugation bit. Very rumbly, noisy, a little bit of noise coming through, not terrible. And I'll just show you how to activate their cruise control. So literally just push this button here, and then you push this one for like lane centering, and then you can zoom up and down by ones or down by tens. So there, that's at 100 right now. I don't think this has got highway lane change, I don't think. Let me just get, once that white car goes past us, I can zip out behind, or in front of this truck. And you can obviously adjust how close you want to follow, so we'll go level 1. So nice and close. Alright, so it's not too bad at the moment in terms of lane keeping. Let's indicate right, so everything turned off in terms of lane centering. And once it finds the markers again, then we're good.
Did it come back on by itself?
Yep, automatically. Yeah, and the cruise control didn't disengage, which is great. Okay, so I guess we should try some audio. I've been listening just to general stuff, and I think it's actually quite good. It's I think it's got 6 speakers. I don't think there's any particular brand name to it, but I think this is actually better than my BYD Seal, and better than the C-Line 7 that we tested recently, better than the Cyberster, which had a Bose sound system, and I would say this is 8 out of 10 personally. It's quite good. You can hear all the instruments and the vocals, not muffled and pretty crisp. So I'm pretty satisfied, considering this is the base variant. There we go, cornering this side. Always been pretty happy with the Hyundai Kia ADAS. Speaking of which, not too many bings and bongs this week either. If there is, it's very soft, very refined. Driver monitoring there hasn't popped up too much, despite me looking away and touching stuff and yawning occasionally. So yeah, good experience. 5-star. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it is a lot better on a smooth road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The road surface has changed. I was going to ask Joy, 5-star ANCAP rating, I think?
Not yet,
Not
because
yet.
the EV3 hasn't been reviewed yet, and it doesn't have an NCAP rating either. But given that I think every other EV number in the Kia series has got the 5-car ANCAP or NCAP and NCAP, I would assume that when it does get tested, it would also be.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
Yeah. I think pretty much all of Kia's line have normally been 5-star when it came out, except I think there was one 4-star. I can't remember which one.
Sorrento, was it?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just in the Epping Tunnel here. And then we've got our son, his music. Let's have a listen.
you're right. The audio system is surprisingly good considering the surroundings. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like the screen and the audio don't match the car.
Yeah.
Like it's way better. Like it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear, not muffled.
Yeah.
Hear the bass tones coming through. No distortion.
No, I know, because at first when you said it, I was like, really? But then, no, now that and even on the corrugations, actually, it's not.
I mean, it is noisy, but...
No, but interestingly, see, I was so bothered by the Sea Lion 7 with the road noise, but I'm not bothered by this. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is.
We are going 100 though, maybe?
Rather than 110? Does that 10 kilometres make such a big difference?
Possibly pushes it over, don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So music system is a pass. Excellent.
More than a pass.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a distinction. Okay, so, I mean, cameras are not too bad here because the parking spots are so wide. I suppose they're useful.
See, that's the level of beeping that I don't mind. Like, it doesn't freak me out.
Alright, so Joy is now driving us back from Costco back to the north side of Sydney.
Might even stick cruise control on because you showed me how easy it was to use.
Yep, exactly. So it matches the current speed that you're on.
And then was it this one to go up?
Yep. Goes up by 1. Yep. Okay, so it was raining a little bit before, and the auto wipers worked pretty well.
Very sensibly. It actually felt really cozy when it was raining.
That's good.
Comfortable drive. Didn't feel like it was slipping around or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't much rain, admittedly.
Yeah. There was a bit of torque steering as you went from the on-ramp onto the freeway.
Well, I thought I would test it because I thought that's a safe place to sort of test it. And yeah, it is definitely wibbly wobbly if you try and accelerate out of a turn.
Yep. Yeah, it's the hallmark of a front-wheel drive, unfortunately. So, I mean, if you go slow enough, it's fine, but any sort of velocity out of a turn, it will slip. Well, it won't slip, but it'll be wobbly, as Joy said. So this bit of road is quite smooth compared to previously. I think it'll be a reasonable road tripper, this car. It's got a pretty good range, 400 kilometres of real world range, rather.
Interestingly, this sort of second longer trip that we did initially to Costco, I wasn't sore getting out of the car. So, I don't know, I don't know about you, but the same issue that I had in the morning after being in the car didn't seem to happen in that sort of midday period. I don't know. Did you feel uncomfortable getting out of the car?
No, I guess not. I was more interested in getting to Costco to do the shopping so we can go home. But yeah, a bit of school traffic as well. That's why I was keen to get out of there ASAP. I don't think there is native strip lighting in this car. Let's have a look. Alright, so just set for Tullamarine Airport in Melbourne. Okay. Charging is required, so I suppose you can search for stations. Okay, so yeah, it's not a smart way to do it. You got to pick it manually, so it doesn't automatically, plan the trip for you, so it doesn't have that, unfortunately. Yeah.
Can I say that the cruise control, it keeps the speed really, really well. The most recent car that I've been in otherwise was the, Sea Lion 7?
Yep.
And that, if you were like going up a hill or down a hill, like, forget it. It's gonna like, it'll speed up going downhill or slow down going uphill. But this one, even going a little bit uphill, or like there was quite a sort of relatively steep downhill section at one point, and it was spot on at 100.
Yeah, that's good. And even around the curve, it'll just keep the speed too.
Yeah,
that's good.
And it'll slow down, with the car in front. So it's
Yep, that's the active part.
The tech is great.
Yeah, that's right. And it's good that Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, they share the underpinnings throughout all their vehicles. So all good stuff, despite what the car might look like on the outside or the inside. It's all really good powertrain underneath.
That's the thing, like the fit out of this obviously makes it seem like a more budget car, but like for the bones and the tech on this and what's actually happening underneath is it's all good things.
That's right. Again, wait till we get the GT line to see what it looks like and how it drives, but I suspect the drive will be very similar. But
what's with the Melbourne weather? Sorry, it was like it was pouring rain and now it's sunshine. It's a Melbourne day.
Melbourne day. It is what it is. At least we did the walk around when it was sunny.
Well, I guess it's good because you get to test everything all in one day.
Yep. All right. Well, I think there's probably one more test we need to do, is to make sure that it can charge at a Tesla Supercharger, and to see whether it can reach close to 100 kilowatts. So stay tuned, everyone. We will head to the Tesla Supercharger in Chatswood later today. So we should also mention that there is a V2L plug just underneath the middle seat in the second row. So here it is. There you go. Standard 3-point plug. Very handy. Okay, so good news, everyone. The Kia EV3 does work at a Tesla Supercharger. That is a V4 plug that you saw here in Chatswood, Sydney. That is good news. And at 19% stated charge, receiving 94 kilowatts, so pretty close to the top charging speed of 100 kilowatts as per the specs. So I managed to take a photo of the trip stats just before the charging screen came up. And at 17% stated charge from 100%, so 323 kilometers driven, 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, pretty close to the efficiency stated in the spec sheet. So with that in mind, you're looking at about 380 kilometers of real world range with this kind of efficiency, which isn't too bad for this car. Okay, so that ends a very long day with Joy and myself testing the Kia EV3 standard range Air, so very much the base variant for this vehicle. So I thought overall, the car is not entirely my cup of tea, but that's all right, that's subjective. The interior, again, quite budget, quite basic. Again, we are looking at the very, base level trim, that's fine. Driving in the city, I thought, not the best experience. It does roll around a bit, like I said, because of the shape of the car, and there's a bit of torque steering as well, being a front-wheel drive vehicle. On the highway, not too bad, fairly comfortable actually, and quite efficient as well overall, as you saw at the end, 14.4 kilowatt hours, and importantly, it can charge at a Tesla Supercharger, which is very important here in Australia. Joy, your thoughts on the vehicle overall?
I don't think it's as bad as you make it out to be, and I think the reason for that is just that the trim, like this interior, just makes it seem like a worse car than it actually is, which is such a shame because, like, if you try and think about it objectively, like the tech system and the infotainment screen and all that is actually really good, and for me, the steering and the handling was fine. I didn't actually have a problem with it, except if I'm accelerating out of a turn. So, that is one thing. But I think that's more to do with the fact that it's a front-wheel drive, you're saying. So that's going to happen with any car that's a front-wheel drive. And the sound system is actually, like, surprisingly good. Because you step into the car and it just feels like such a budget car. And then you hear it and, like, you actually drive it. And it's really quite good. And so I just feel like the interior kind of lets it down. But hey, we, like you said, this is the base level. We haven't seen the other ones, but I think it does really affect how you feel when you drive, because it's such a shame. That's the thing. Like, it's actually a really good car. It's got really good bones in it, so I think it's a known brand like Kia. You're not going to go wrong. But I do feel, though, for the price that they're asking, that you should at least test drive the other stuff that's out there, just so you know what you could also be buying for that kind of money. And then, if you're like, okay, well, I don't really trust all these newer brands out there, then that's understandable. But I think you should at least, test drive them and know what you could possibly get for the same amount of money. You'd be getting, like, a much better interior, much better, possibly much better tech, but definitely a much better interior. So just know what you can get for that price, like what you can get for that kind of price point in 2025. So
yeah, all good points. Just for me personally, it doesn't spark much joy. to borrow a phrase from another. Who is she? Marie Kondo, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you wouldn't throw out a car.
No, God, I wouldn't throw this out, no way. But I'm just saying, it doesn't like inspire me. I know that sounds a bit odd, but
No, I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
your drive should be enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm going to drive this thing every day. I need to feel happy in it too, right? So,
Yeah.
which I don't currently in this car. It's on paper, it's fine. It does everything you need. The specs are not too bad. Efficiency's good, like I said. It just feels a bit budget on the inside.
It's just the fit out
interior,
that just is just really letting it down,
Yeah.
which is such a shame.
I mean, this is the base trim, so we'll see what the
Yeah.
GT line trim is like. I'm quite harsh on Kia because, they're asking a lot of money, $47,600 for this car, MSRP before on roads. For an extra $2,000, you can get the Zeekr X. And as Joy said, you may not trust the Chinese cars just yet, but that's why Kia, I guess, are happy to charge this money. Because they know the average buyer will go, okay, the Koreans have been around a bit longer, Hyundai Kia has been around a bit longer, we're happy to trust them more than a new brand like Zeekr.
Yeah,
So.
and I mean, I've got a friend who just got her Geely
EX5.
It's why do they
Alphanumeric.
have letter number
EV3.
Yeah. So and that's like 40. What was it?
46 drive away or something.
And
crazy.
for the top end one, and it's got all the bells and whistles, and massage seats, and you name it. It's got
bigger car too.
like a massive sunroof.
Retractable shade.
Yep. And the interior is like
Yeah.
comfy and like nice,
Nicer.
like nice.
Yeah, softer
trim.
materials.
Yeah.
Yep.
So know what you can get for your money. But
That's the thing. EV3 Kia, they're saying to the world, well, to Australia, we're happy to play in the space with Zeekr X, which charge a premium for their cars, rather than saying no, we're in the same space as MG4, BYD Dolphin, GWM Aura, right? Because they're a lot cheaper than the Kia. So I don't know. That's why I question: have Kia priced this correctly at $47,000? I guess for the brand, like probably because it's a trustworthy brand. They've been around, reliability, servicing, all that stuff. So maybe that's right. Maybe 47,000 is correct for this car.
yeah, like you wouldn't, like I don't think anyone would judge you and say you're silly for buying this car. Like it's a known, trusted brand. But yeah, just know what else you could get for it. But yeah, like it's a completely reasonable and understandable decision to go for a Kia. Yeah.
Yep. And if you drive at the average speed, you want a bigger looking car, you want the space, but not too big, like 4.3 meters, then I think it's probably a good option actually, Kia EV3. So, yep. Look, overall, we're both happy with it. Just obviously a few things we're nitpicking over, particularly me, but that's because of the price it's asking. That's all it is. If this was like $35,000, $40,000, I'd say, hey, go for it. It's a bargain. But
Are there other variants that aren't front wheel drive?
I don't think so.
So
That's the thing.
even the other, like, if you pay more money, it's not like all wheel drive
I
or
believe
like
so.
rear wheel drive.
We'll
or any of
confirm that with the GT line, but I believe it's all front wheel drive.
Mm.
Yep, that's the issue. All right, well, anything else, Joy? I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Kia. It's solid. It's reliable. I think it's just a shame this one just looks so budget on the interior because it doesn't reflect what the car actually drives like or what the tech is actually like in this vehicle.
Yes, the underpinnings are good. The powertrain is good otherwise. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy myself until the next Ludicrous Feed video. It's happy charging.